course. You are doing them all.
Okay. Feel free to speak about Matt Damon. We love our celebrities on Celebrity Psychics.
You can give him a big
New
shout.
movie that's on now.
What's that
15?
saying? You draw to you what you fear. I'm petrified of Matt Damon.
Okay. We'll bring him in. Nice pick on a cheap point.
And 10.
Hello and welcome to wherever you're viewing tonight. We are Celebrity Psychics and I am Annie Labrie. I am your host. And as you know, every week we're going to have somebody beautiful and special on our show tonight, and every Thursday night at 9 p.m. So wherever you're viewing tonight, on your laptop, on your phone, on your smart TV, on your computer, we're here for you. As you know, we're here to do beautiful readings for you while we are live, either myself or our beautiful guest. And tonight, our beautiful guest reader is lovely Yvonne George. So beautiful to work with you.
And you as well. It's awkward to do the cross hug.
Oh, we can do that.
It's better when you do the stand-up hug.
It is, isn't it? We'll do a stand-up hug later. But this is our beautiful Yvonne George, so she'll be here reading for us tonight as well. And we have worked together lots before, but never actually together on the same lounge to work, to have fun.
At the same time?
That's right. So we're here for you, and you can send in a text anytime tonight. So if you wanted to have a text reading tonight while we are here talking to you, it's your 19700 700, and the code word's TV if you'd like it read out tonight. And you can either say for Yvonne, and I can even do a few readings for myself. Some of you know how I work, but how does our lovely Yvonne work? So anyone that's new tonight that's watching, if you wanted to have a reading tonight with Yvonne, how would you say you work? I know you're a beautiful healer.
Yeah, I'm a spiritual healer, a teacher, a guide, and the readings that I do generally tend to be, as well as psychic readings and future predictions, they tend to be healing sessions or mini healing sessions. Because what I look at is, you might ask whatever question it is that you want to ask, but I'll look at where it is that you are now and also see where it is that you're blocked and what that blockage is, whether it's from something that happened in this life, or it's how you're thinking about yourself, or programming that you've created, or something from past lives. And I can tend to give you some advice or some techniques to help you to step out of that, so that you can actually step into the future that you want to create. So to do that, I work with a lot of different modalities and a lot of different modalities, and work with your angels and your guides, and
she's got angels, she's got the guides, she's got the cards, you've got the crystals. So we all work similar, and exactly the same thing. Every reading is a healing in some sense too, isn't it? Because it is getting you past something, through something. And the idea about having a reading, some people don't realise that it is healing, but we can't do it for you. We can't tell you what to do, but it does give you that clarity and that insight to see the light at the end of the tunnel when you're going through something really hard, okay?
Exactly.
And if anything, you've just coming out of as well. So making your decisions, so you can ask us any questions that you might want to ask. So for the quick readings tonight, don't forget we've got at-home readers on the phone, not only tonight, but 24/7 as well. So tonight I think we've got Raoul already booked in, and a couple of our readers you're getting to know already. So hello Raoul if you're booked in, and I think Laurie's going to log on tonight, and we'll talk a little bit more about that, and even through the show we'll have a chat with Laurie, and so you get to know her as well. But most importantly, here on the lounge we've got Yvonne, and we will kick off with a few text readings as well. But if you do want to have a phone reading and speak to somebody direct tonight, we've got both our national and international psychics online right now as we speak, and you can get to them on their 1300 number, which is 1300 755 468, or your 1902 257 821. So we'll talk a little bit more about that, and I'll tell you more about the 1300 number as well. But we might kick off tonight because we do have a few texts. So thank you everybody that's watching and everybody that's viewing tonight. And I want to do a big shout out to those that had readings with myself and Francis on our last show, that also got back to me on Facebook. So if you are following on Facebook, thank you very much. Interact there as much as you like, but to be able to view the show really lovely tonight, switch over to celebritypsychics.com.au, and you'll also get a view of the cards and what's happening as we read. Okay, yes. So if Yvonne's happy to start off, and we'll do a beautiful reading, we're going to get straight into it tonight because we've got it all waiting. And this is for lovely Kathleen, and Kathleen is 6 of the 3rd 55. Can you see what will happen with my husband's job and him in the next 12 months? And his husband is Neil.
Beautiful. Let's have a look at Neil. Okay, it does feel like there's going to be a letting go because we've got that beautiful bottle brush come out there? Let's have a little look. So the next 12 months. Neil's in a place, Neil's the kind of person that does what it is that he has to do and does what he should do, and he hasn't been doing a lot of what it is that he wants to do, and it feels like for him the last 4 months has actually been quite heavy energy, because it's like, oh, I've got to get up, I've got to do this, I have to, and it feels like the motivation hasn't been completely there. What we've got there to help out is Mint Bush, and with these beautiful cards, they're the Australian Bushflower Essence cards, and the Australian Bushflower Essences are healers in themselves, and the Mint Bush is there helping him. We're energetically sending it to him as well to help him to step out of that heaviness. It feels like he really wants to move on, because where it is that he's working and where it is that he is, it doesn't feel like he's getting the recognition that he needs. It's kind of like he's in a way being used and abused. What I'm getting for him though, it's not a right time for him to move out. It does feel like there's something happening in the next 4 months, but he's actually going to choose that and he's actually going to make it happen. But what he needs to start doing is actually start thinking about what it is he actually wants to do and what it actually looks like and what it actually feels like to have that. Because at the moment it's like it's all the things that he's focusing on is a heavy energy, and it's not working and it's hard, and it's with the shaman principles, which are beautiful Hawaiian life principles. The third principle is energy flows where attention goes. So what you're focusing on, you're giving energy to, and what you're giving energy to, you're attracting more of. So if you're focusing on all the things that aren't working in your life, you're going to draw to you more and more things that aren't working. So what he needs to do is he needs to start focusing on where it is he wants to be, what it looks like, what it feels like, not what's available, not how to get there, because that's the universe's job. His job is just to have a better picture of what he wants his life to look like, and the universe is going to help him to get there. Again, it's like he needs to be where it is that he is for the next 4 months, but it feels like from then, it feels like a door of opportunity that's going to open up, and it's something about December, and it's a spark, something's happening about the 12th of December for him that's actually going to open up the doors so that he can actually get more of a sense where he wants to be. When I'm looking at March next year, it feels like he's already stepped into it, and I actually get the sense that he's happy. It's also too, it feels like he's actually going to start kicking himself, because he's going to say, why didn't I do this earlier? He wasn't supposed to do it earlier. It's kind of like he's really going to enjoy where it is that he lands, but he's got to give himself permission to do that first, and no feeling guilty about it. We tend to think that pain, suffering, struggle, we've earned the right to be happy. It's doing it the hard way. It's our divine right to be happy. So he's allowed to do what it is that he loves, and he doesn't have to feel bad, and he doesn't have to feel guilty about it. They're saying it's like he needs to put out what it is he'd really love to do, and it feels like he's going to be able to bring that in. So I hope that helps. Thanks for your text today.
That was lovely for Kathleen and Neil. And I like the way you used the bushflower essences, and a lot of people wouldn't know about them. They're used to the tarot cards, they're used to the archangels and the spiritual cards. How have you come across the bush essence?
I've been working with the actual bushflower essences for over 17 years personally on myself, and I actually work with them and use them every day. We all know about the bark flower essences, which are the English flowers, and they've been around since the 1930s. Ian White developed the Australian bushflower essences in the 1980s, and they're vibrational healers. It's like when we're working with crystals are vibrational healers as well, and we're drawn to different crystals at different times depending on what we need. Well, the bushflower essences are a much higher frequency. They actually work on even deeper levels. And I work with crystals. I'm wearing crystals. I've got them all the time, but I tend to find that these work much more effectively and much more in an MDET way. You can get, they're very versatile as well. You can take them as drops, you can take them as sprays. They're at most of your local health food stores. But as we've got the bushflower essence cards here, what they actually do is the healing energy of the flowers. When you're looking at the actual flowers, the healing energy is actually working with you as well. And I actually teach, I'm lucky enough to teach some bushflower essence courses, and with that we're working with the individual flowers, and you've got the picture up on the screen, and people are looking at it, and the whole time they're in the course, the healing energy of the flowers is working with them and helping them to shift and release in this beautiful, loving, gentle way. So they're absolutely beautiful healers, plus they've got beautiful messages to give us as well.
And they're just mainly the Australian ones, aren't they?
These are the Australian bushflower essences, yeah.
And people don't realise that energy comes off almost everything, and it's how you connect with it. And we used to belong to a course that we used to go and just pick a flower and bring that in as well to read from, and that's where it all starts. And as you mentioned earlier, they know how the crystals work, and I use the crystals as well, and that comes from the earth, and it's just the energy that's all there. I love the way that you work with them, and they're resonating really beautiful with you as well. So if you'd like a bushflower essence reading, you can with Yvonne. So just remember, when you text in your name, your date of birth and your question, these are only a snapshot reading. We can't get everything in tonight, but you're welcome to find us on the phones at any time. And I was mentioning that 1300 number. With our 1300 number, you can call in and get direct to one of our psychics that are actually logged in live, ready to talk to you with their PIN number. Another thing with the 1300 number, which is beautiful, is we've got a consultant online. So if you're not sure what kind of a reader that you would like, and you might have a question more about career, finance, health, or something to do with past loved ones, every reader might have a different gift, what you call a different gift, or work in a different way. So, you know, do go on, do read our profiles that are on there. There's a section there that you can select a profile or see just whoever's online available at the moment as well. So they'll be both international and national. The other thing we've got with our 1300 number is it allows our psychics to schedule an appointment time or date. So you can actually have a look on our profiles and see that, okay, Annie, myself might be logged in on Wednesday, Raoul might be logged in on Tuesday, and you can actually call the 1300 number and actually book a time schedule as well. And it also gives you time to talk to them, and they'll actually recommend a reader that might resonate with you. So that's a beautiful little journey to go on.
It's nice to have somebody there to, in a way, hold your hand and say, what are you looking for? Well, this person can help you with this and that.
And as you know, we work in some of the shops around Sydney and different places, and a lot of the readers do, and that's another way. And you've also got, you know, everyone's got their own websites, but you don't always know. If you ring a shop front, they can always tell you this reader reads like that or whatever, but another way is to come on here and have a look and see how she works personally. And they can find you via Facebook as well, or do you have a website?
I've got both. Facebook and the website. The website, it's Horse and Wolf School of Healing. So if you Google that, horse, the animal, and the wolf, the animal. So Horse and Wolf School of Healing.
So Horse and Wolf School of Healing, that's .com.au or
.com.au.
Beautiful, and that's how we can find you and what you do, because you do a lot of healing as well, don't you?
You teach a lot of different courses and do a lot of work with a lot of different
we might talk a little bit about your courses later as well, because we've all got courses going on, because we both teach and we've both been in the industry a long time, so we work very similar, and you know, that's what we're here for, is there for you. So this is one beautiful way, so take advantage of lovely Yvonne George while we've got her tonight. I'm really blessed and honoured to work with you, and it's great to be able to bounce off your energy and see how you work.
Ditto.
We'll both do reading tonight, so if you want a reading with either myself or Yvonne, remember to text in 19 700, and we're about to go to another text reading so everyone can tune in. And it's lovely to hear another person's reading, even if you don't know them. Sometimes you might resonate or go through something yourself, and you're always learning something, and I'm learning even listening to how you guys read as well. It's just beautiful. So we're going to flick to another one, and this one's for Patricia. 29th of the 8th, 1964. Wishing to hear about my brother who passed away suddenly on the 11th of the 11th, 14.
Okay, let's have a look. Patricia, you've got the ability to do this yourself and connect, and it does feel like your brother is actually there with you, but it feels like you're too much in your head and you're judging and criticizing and you're thinking too much. And it's like, what I'm getting from him is it's jacaranda's come out, and what he's saying with the jacaranda is you're all over the place, and it's like he's getting dizzy watching you, because it's like you're here and you've got to go here and you've got to fix this and you've got to do this and you've got to do that and got to do this. And what I'm getting for you from him is slow down. He didn't take the time to appreciate life and live it. It's like he was doing the same thing. He was rushing, trying to get to the destination, trying to get it done. But when we're rushing to get to the destination, we don't take time to smell the popcorn along the way. He's saying, slow down, don't do what he did. You're here. You don't have to feel guilty about being here. You're here, enjoy it. There's times too, it's like, it's not very often that you allow yourself to slow down and get in that nice relaxed space, but there are times that it feels like I'm getting the picture of quiet time, and there's water there, and it's like you're just there, and there's times you feel, and you'll remember these as well, that you just stop and you just breathe, and you can actually feel the breath, and it feels like for the first time in a long time you're actually there. And it feels like when you're doing that, there's times when everything's felt brighter and felt clearer, That's because what's happening is he's looking through you, not in a scary, horrible way, but it's like he's sharing that energy, and everything's heightened and everything's more beautiful, and that sense of peace, that's where he's sharing with you, and he wants you to have more times like that. He wants you to stop thinking so much and stop trying to fix everybody, and you don't need to take responsibility for everyone, nor do you need to blame yourself for everybody else's problems and everyone else's stuff, and you definitely don't need to blame yourself for his stuff. He's okay with where he was and what happened. He's okay with that. But he doesn't want you to stop. He wants you to live. He wants you to do all the things that he can't, because he wants to share it with you on the other side there. He's there and he's been trying to talk to you, but because your mind's all over the place and you're talking and you're all over, you can't listen. So if you've got a beautiful space out in nature, and if there's, especially if there's water there, because it's like he likes the water, and it's almost like he wants to just sail quietly on the water. Not ocean, but it feels like still water, so a lake or something like that. So just by being there and being in that space, just sit, breathe, feel your feet on the ground. And as you're doing that, you'll actually be able to connect with him, because he has been speaking to you, but your head keeps going, no, it's not him, it's not, no, it's just my imagination. Breathe, get in that space, because he's there to look after you. He's gone through his stuff. He knows who it is that he is. He wants to support you, but he doesn't want you to worry about him or worry about who you think you should have been or what you should have done. He wants you to focus on you. There's more there, but it's kind of it doesn't feel like appropriate to say over the screen. But with that, it's kind of like take time for you. That's the most important thing. So I hope that helps.
Yeah, and I noticed you brought up a lot about guilt, and some people do find that really hard when they've lost a loved one, that, you know, that person's not here, and how do we enjoy now being here without them?
Yeah.
So it's really beautiful to be able to talk to somebody like yourself, you know, or me that works with past life people, and just give you the tools of how to get through that. So remember, you know, if we can't get enough on a text reading for you tonight, you can always find Yvonne or one of our readers that deal with that as well. So that was lovely, thank you.
Thank you.
I hope that gives a little bit of peace to her as well. It's always a hard one, isn't it, when they pass over, and we're all going to.
Yes.
It's the way life goes, and it's just about...
in a shamanic point of view, it's like we leave the skin suit behind, and we just go back to who it is that we really are, which is beings of pure love and light.
And yet we talk with them all the time. And something interesting Yvonne brought up as well was very much that you could connect with him, but you just weren't listening. And we both hold psychic development workshops, and that can actually help you. If you don't need to do a workshop to pick your psychic development up to become a reader like us, but it might help you to be able to connect with what you want to and listen to your deep intuition. And that's exactly what the workshops are all about, aren't they?
Definitely.
And you've got a psychic development workshop coming up as well?
Yes, it's how to develop your psychic gifts. So that one, I think it's all up on my Facebook page. That one, I'll be running that in September, and that's on a Saturday, and on the Sunday we've got animal communication workshop, so it's like it's a whole psychic development weekend.
Yeah,
exercising your psychic muscles.
It is, and it's everyone teaches it a different way. I've also got one. I'm looking forward to seeing all you ladies again on tomorrow night, actually. Cool. Psychic development workshop, and it's also a workshop for those that are already reading cards, that want that ongoing tuition and that interpretation. And without the psychic ability, we can't interpret. The books are there, they give us a lot of information, but sometimes which part of that is the correct one? So, you know, you can pick up your intuition, you can learn to read the cards, you may not get to the psychic ability where lovely Yvonne is, and where we've been at for a long time, but it's not about that, is it? It's about trusting and using it for yourself.
Exactly, and funnily enough, bush flower essences, there's one called Bush Fuchsia that actually helps you to trust your intuition and get that clarity and step out of it.
Yeah.
There's a combination essence that they have called meditation essence, which has got essences to get you out of your head, because the more that we're thinking, as we know, the thinking's conscious mind, and the conscious mind's attached to ego, and the conscious mind has no idea what's going on, and it's only 10%, and it's always talking, it's always got something to say, but it's the 90% that you want to connect with. So the meditation essence helps you to get there.
First thing we say is don't analyse. First thing that comes straight off, and listening to your heart as well. Looks like I've got a text ready, so I'm going to slip from host to reader. No, we all bounce off each other as well. And I'll read it out so those of you at home, and I'll say big hello to, this is for Kirsty. Hello, Kirsty. And it's the 27th of the 11th, 1981. Can you tell me what my love life will be for this month, please? I like the way you say just for this month. It's like, okay, you're making your big decisions, aren't you, girlfriend? Okay, so Kirsty, you are strong and you do know what you want, but you're forgetting that there's two people here. It's not just about you, and it's not always your choice as well, okay? So I'll tell you what's going on, and that's also with your other partner as well, because you're looking for something new. So I don't know if I don't feel like you're overworked wherever you are or what you have to try and sort out with that last partner, okay? So you've got a little bit going on there to decide. Now, if you want to stay with the same partner, just freshen it up, and this is bringing something new into, or a new idea, and most importantly, I'm getting is a new perception about what you think about it, what you want to achieve, okay? There's your Lover's card there. As you know, that's what's going to happen. So you don't even have to know about your cards to realise that that's all about the thinking. And with the shaman, that is going really deep. So it is time for you to think. It's not time for you to act. And you know what? You don't have to yet. You know, that's why I had a little bit of a giggle about your month. Relax. You don't have to make your decision in this month. It's actually waiting till December before you know, okay? So breathe, let things go. I'm getting a bit of a festivity feeling around you, like parties, going out, having fun. So I'm getting, you don't have to literally do that, but in your heart do that. Have a little bit of joy with what's going on right around you right now for the pieces of moment, okay? Don't worry too much about what's happened in the past, okay? You can't change what's happened with that other partner. There's been some really big shifts there with what's happened with that person, but that's their journey, not yours. You have to now choose what part of that's your journey, okay? So really just step back a little bit, go back into you and figure out what you want first, and then just see if that person will come to the party and join you in it as well, okay? So lighten up, have a little bit of fun. Don't carry that hurt that they're carrying as well. It's so hard not to do that because you get so connected with each other, okay? And that's beautiful that you are really empathetic that way, but you can make decisions too quickly sometimes and don't listen, okay? So try not to be so black and white. Try and be a little bit more open is my advice to you. Spirit's just going, you know, there's shades of grey here all the time, okay? So stop and think, use a bit of tolerance, and I know you are, but you don't have to put up with everything if it's not feeling right for you, okay? So if you do all that, your success card is saying within 6 months, you'll also be on that direction to that happiness. I'm not saying you're going to have a horrible 6 months in the meantime. It's just let it all unfold the way it's meant to and keep in your grace. And I say that all the time, okay? So try and be at peace with what you want to achieve. I hope that really helps. It's all about changes all the time, isn't it? And making decisions. It's hard.
But one step at a time.
One step at a time.
And pay attention to where you are, because we're so focused on the destination. We
They
need
forget
this
that journey.
because, but the destination's just another step in the journey. So enjoy the popcorn along the way.
And your destination might be that mountain or that marriage or whatever it is, but then there's another mountain and another thing, and so enjoy it. And that's really what came through, and that's what you picked up as well, which is really lovely. So that was lovely reading for Kirsty. So I hope that all comes out really well. So we're going to have another one for Yvonne now. You can have a little bit of a chance. And this one is for Dan. Hello, Dan. This is the 17th of the 5th, 1979. I had a strange dream about a relative who passed. Was this just a dream, or was it them trying to communicate?
It does feel like they were trying to communicate. Our loved ones, because our head, it's again, we're trained to listen to the conscious mind, and our head keeps going all the time. Our loved ones don't get a chance to visit, they don't get a chance to connect. So when we're actually asleep, that's one of the ways that they can connect with us, and they can just, sometimes they might be at the forefront, they might be part of the dream, but a lot of the times they'll just be sitting in the background and they might be waving. Sometimes they'll be trying to tell us something, sometimes we can't hear, because what they're saying as well in that one is that we're not listening during the day, and it's time to take time to slow down a bit. What I'm actually getting for you, there are some things that have been coming up for you for the last, especially the last 8 weeks, and it feels like they're giving me the words of being a little bit on tenterhooks, and you're kind of like not quite sure where you're going to go, what's going to happen, what's going on, and it's not like a major worry, but it feels like it's just underneath. And I've got Dagger Hakea there, and it's kind of like you've been feeling a bit prickly, not happy within yourself, not comfortable within yourself, not sure about where it is that you're going. What I'm actually getting, it feels like with your relatives come through just to remind you that it's kind of like everything's okay. I've got Wisteria there, and Wisteria, it reminds me of a beautiful goddess dancing, and what they're actually saying is don't stress and worry about everything. It's okay to dance now. It's okay to make life a dance. I've been watching a lot, and we were talking about that before, about Matt Damon stuff, and I've been watching some interviews, and he keeps talking about the interviews when they're doing the fight scenes and things like that. When you're doing movie acting, fighting, it's a dance. And what they're saying for you is don't fight through life, don't try and push through. It's like dance through, do it with ease, do it with grace, because it feels like you're making things too hard for yourself or harder than they need to be. So I'm actually getting, it's kind of like the message I'm getting is for you to step back a little bit and observe your life rather than being caught up in the stream of it and thinking you need to go here and there, because that's what's unsettling you. You're trying to follow everybody else's stream, everyone else's things, everyone else's stuff, and it's like they're saying, step back, focus on you, connect to you. What do you want? Where do you want to go? Not where can you go, not where do you have to go, but where do you want to go? It's time for you to listen to you. And it feels like with your the relative that you had there, they're part of your team that's there to help you if you need. So just call on them and say, can you give me a hand with this? And it's like, yep, not a problem. And what else do you want? It's the same as when we're working with our angels and guides. It's like they're there with us and you can feel them around you, but you actually need to ask for help. And when you ask for help, they can work with you at 100%. So it's kind of like you've got an in on the other side, so you want good car spots or what you need on special or green traffic lights. You can ask for help. So they're there with you, but you do need to ask. But ask them to help you to step back so you can observe rather than getting caught up in everything that's going on, because it is time for you to dance through life rather than going through the struggle. But choosing to struggle, it may not seem like a choice, but it actually is. Choosing to struggle or taking the easy road is a choice that you get to make. Choose the easy road. It's actually a nicer ride.
Beautiful advice.
That helps.
Yeah, I noticed that you were talking a little bit about that. Another one of my favourite sayings is Bruce Lee. It's like, be like water.
Ah, yes.
Be like water. It's not even just go with the flow; it finds its way.
Yes.
Gently but surely. And it's like, I like the what you just said with the Matt Damon with the dance, and it's very similar to what I just spoke about as well, and being in your grace and just seeing the different angles. And you've always got a choice.
Always. And we feel like we don't, but we always have more than one choice. We may not always like all the choices.
Well, we've got to choose how we get through it.
Yes.
And that's where we come into it and help
Yes.
you, how you can see the scenarios. And so many people come and they want us to tell you a certain thing's going to happen, and it's not looking like it's going to happen, and we can't make that happen. But what we can do is show you that there's something better or something bigger or something different that you haven't thought about. And that's spirit talking, as you said. And I really liked what you said about, listening to spirit, listening to that person trying to come through and asking for it.
Yes, and ask for help, definitely.
Yes, ask, and they'll give you a sign. It will come.
Oh, yeah.
So don't discount that sign when you get it. And I like the way that your last reading, he didn't discount it. He knew it, otherwise he wouldn't have asked you. So you got your confirmation there, which is really lovely. So thank you very much for doing that.
Yeah.
So if you want some more text readings tonight live, don't forget 19700 700 and text either Yvonne or for myself. So you question your date of birth. Don't forget we've also got at-home psychics as we speak as well, and the details are on our website, so celebritypsychics.com.au. So just call the 1300 number if you want to speak to Raoul or Laurie or any of our psychics that are on at the moment. Just look for their PIN number, so straight through, and you can get through and have that reading as well. So thank you everybody for joining. I love the way that you're working tonight, and we're getting a little bit of information and help along the way, which is really beautiful, and it's nice to see how you work. So if people want to take advantage of having Yvonne tonight, we're very blessed to have you, and I'm enjoying watching you work with the flower essence as well. This one is for Trent. Were you ready for another reading?
I can do that, yes.
Beautiful. I just wait to have a zone and get ready and shake it
fine.
off, and
Go
we
for
just
it.
go boom boom. We're very used to doing this in all our psychic fairs and working hard. So this is for Trent, and it's 25th of the 4th, 88. And when do you see me buying a new house?
Okay, so I'm just working with the psychic tarot cards. Let's have a look. The universe cards come out, and what this one says to me is the world is your oyster. So what it is that you want is available, and it is actually there, but you do have a blockage, and this is a blockage. It's everyone else's perception. Oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, you won't be able to do this, you won't be able to do that, and it feels like what's been happening is that's been keeping you stuck. You want to move forward, and you want to move forward, but it's like everyone else's energy. It's like you're trying to move forward, and they've got those bungee cords around you, and you're trying to walk forward, and they're pulling you backwards. You need to step out of everyone else's expectations and make the decision about what you want. So if you want to make it happen, make it happen. Make the decision. Don't ask anyone else. Don't even tell them. You're in a place where The more you tell people what it is that you want and where you want to go, the more they're going to pull you back from a loving space a lot of the times, because they don't want you to get hurt. So no, don't set your sights too high, because you never know. No, yeah, don't tell them. You've got the ability to break through any barriers. You just, again, need to make the decision. I get a lot of people say to me, oh, I'm just going with the flow, I'm going with the flow. And going with the flow is great if you've set the direction that you want that flow to go. So you actually need to focus on where it is that you want to be. You need to focus on what it is that you want. Get out of your head of what everyone else thinks, and get out of your head of what everybody else says and things like that. You make the decision. There's something happening at the beginning of November, and they're showing me the 3rd of November, and it feels like a door of opportunity is going to open up for you then. But you need to make the decision and be happy with it, but don't feel like telling everybody else or say this or looking for everyone else's approval or everyone else telling you it's okay to do it. You find out a way to do it. You talk to the people who actually know, so the actual professionals that work with it, and then work with it from there. You've got the ability to go places that nobody else can. So with that one, when people are telling you you can't, they're actually saying that they can't. You can actually break through so many more barriers, and that's the mental one. I love that picture because it's kind of like he's in his head, and then it's almost like he's in his head, and then he's in his head it's like too much thinking, a bit more doing. So make the decision, but it does feel like something happening around the 3rd of November after you've made the decision. Because if you're putting wishy-washy energy when or how or who or what, there's no strength in that. You're giving your power to everything outside you. You make the decision and go, this is what I'm going to do, how am I going to make it work? And you know with you've been learning this, especially in the last 7 months, you've been learning that when you make a decision, it's getting done. So trust in that, because that's going to keep taking you everywhere. So I hope that helps.
It helped me. I was like, I'm going to do what everyone says. I'm listening, totally listening to you. Can you be my mum? I hope that helped you. Trent, that was for, wasn't it?
Yes.
So yeah, that some very clarification on timeframes too, which was really good. So you work really well with timeframes.
Yeah, they give me actual dates of when doors open. So, but what we've got to remember too, when we really, really, really need something, we really, really, really want it. What we're doing is we're putting that energy out there. I want this, I need it, I have to have it. And what we're doing is we're actually telling the universe, I don't have it, I don't have it, I don't have it. And the universe is going, yep, don't have it. So when you really, really, really need something and really, really want it, the universe gives you the experience of needing and wanting it, and it takes a lot longer. So you need to step out of that desperate need and be in that place of allowing. So when readers are giving you dates and things like that, it's for where you are right at this moment. But then if you go into desperation mode, it's going to take longer and longer and longer. It's a bit torturous, like a jug when you're waiting for the kettle to boil, and you're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting. It's like you need to go off and do something else and put the jug on, go and do something else, and then come back and do it.
And I find as a reader, you can kind of tell sometimes when you've got a time frame, but then you can go, we can also see that even though we've been given a time frame, that you're going to do something with that time frame. It's still going to happen in the end, but the time frame could shift a little bit.
Yeah.
So, you can tell when it is going to and when it's not. And the when it's not is when the advice comes through from the reader, and that's the bit you have to listen to.
Yeah.
And then they might turn around and go, but that didn't happen then. I said, yeah, but did you listen to the other bit?
Yeah, did
which
you do
was
that other little bit?
Exactly, which
Did
was
you
the
make that
important
change?
thing. Yeah, in other words, that just means that it was set for there, but something had shifted it. It doesn't change it. We can't change it. It's the way it is. That we're just seeing all the differences in the scenarios is what I call it. Do you call it that in a
well,
way?
it's kind of, the way I see it is you've got all different paths in front of you. So we're reading the path right in front of you, but you could then change your mind and make a decision going, you know what, no, and I'm going to go this way, or I'm going to go that. So.
And they're the other paths that we view and we see, and they're the ones when we say, oh, it should be here, but it might be here, but it gets there at the end, doesn't it, if you take the advice?
Yes.
And yeah, we can only give the advice. It's up to you if you take it, and that's what they're asking, and that's what we're bringing through, and that's all we can do is bring it through, and it's up to you what you do with that advice, whichever advice comes through, really, at the end of the day.
Yep. You're in charge.
Always.
Yeah. So the sixth shaman principle is mana. All power comes from within. So
it begins with a thought, and that's the conflict too, isn't it? The conflict I find is always conflict within yourself, ultimately, at the end of the day, because we don't like conflict with others or conflict with anything, so then we get conflict.
Yes.
So how do we stop it? And it has to stop within.
You've got the power. It's kind of, I talk about, with myself, I'm a master healer. With all the modalities I work with, all the things that I do, I'm a master healer. But when I work with you, you become the master healer and I become your assistant. And I can only help you to the level that you're ready to let go of. I'm a really, really good assistant though, but you're the one that still needs to do the work. So we're
And
all master healers.
Lovely for explaining that, because that's exactly how I explain healing work as well. We're not here to heal you, but we have the tools to help you heal yourself.
Yeah.
Is what I say.
Yeah.
Very similar.
Assistance.
Exactly. And I've got another reading as well, so I'll give you
Go
a
for
little
it.
voice a break, and I'll put another reading. So thank you all you beautiful viewers wherever you are around Australia, and whatever you're doing tonight. I hope you're keeping warm from this winter and the storms over here in New South Wales as well. I hope everyone's being very safe. So we're here to help you. So if you want to text tonight, don't forget 19700 700. Just text your name, date of birth, and if you want lovely Yvonne George while she's here, and or myself. So this one is for Trish, and it's for me. So I'll read it out so all your lovely viewers can hear it. So hello Trish, 27th of the 8th, 1981. Hi, can I have a reading for August, please? What should I expect to happen? Thank you. Trish, I'm actually going to use the crystals for you tonight because I've already started feeling you, and while I was talking to Yvonne I saw your text, so I already started tuning in. And same thing, I still feel like there's a little bit of study with you now, whether that's a technical study and a literal study, or you're learning stuff within yourself about what you need to achieve. So I'm kind of glad you said August, because there is a shift with career, okay? And whether you study for it or understand it, or just a bit of a shift. I know you're a healer, but you're not a nurse, but you've got to also realize that whatever job you do is healing, okay? The way that you do it, okay? So you're already in your field of career, but there's something that needs to shift, okay? Whether it's your workplace or what you want to achieve, all right? Don't be afraid to do that as well. Don't juggle 2 jobs at the moment. Pick one and do it well. I know your finances are a bit low, but you're okay to get through it, okay? So really about your career, you've already made your mind up what to do, and there's definitely more study, okay? With your intuition and your trust there, you always know it, and you kick yourself later. You turn around and you go, oh, wish I'd done that. I really wish I'd done that, and it's too late. So please, in August, if you feel like you need to be doing something, do it, and then take it on board after that, okay? It's kind of like steps all the way along as well. I don't know if you're going on a cruise, but there's water here as well, but that's next July, all right? So if you need to go on a cruise or go on a trip that's going to involve water, next July is the time to go. And I'm also feeling that next July is also the time where the weather's going to be safe and everything's going to be all right as well. You do worry too much what other people think, okay? And you're really getting to the pinnacle of that. So even though you're asking our advice tonight, please just choose yourself. Don't worry what mum's saying, your sisters are saying, or all these other people around you are saying at the moment. This is about you, all right? So you're really getting there. You're getting stronger, and I like the way you've come. You've had to fight. You've had to get there, but please, this August, don't just make that one decision. Go for it. September, October and November will be the smoothing out of those decisions, but they're not going to be a bad decision anyway, okay? With your study, I'm still getting not a career shift like I said before, but a difference, okay? It's not time to change the whole career yet. That's going to come maybe 3 to 7 years. There's a bit of a break there, okay? That's the malachite. So I don't know if you can see the malachite. I'll move my crystals up a little bit. So with your malachite, even though we all know it's a bit of a healing crystal, or those of you that might follow the crystal energy, it's basically saying that the next job you get, you're going to feel at peace finally, and with everything that's going on. So if that makes sense, you will definitely make sense of that, even if us and the other viewers won't. It's definitely going to resonate with you, okay? Be kind to you always, all right? So as long as you're doing what suits you as well. There's little ones around at the moment too. Just watch them with safety. Now when I say that, it's just make sure whoever's looking after them are watching them as well. That's just a little warning coming through, okay love? So if you need anything more, don't be afraid to try and find us on Facebook and Celebrity, because there's a little bit more that we can always go into depth with that we can't cover up here as well. So you get a lot from the crystals.
You do, yes. They tell an awesome story.
They do tell an awesome story, don't they? It all starts coming out, and I hope that makes sense, and it always does. And like I said, never makes sense to us when we're doing the reading, but you'll always know what that means, okay? And you can always interact on Facebook and let us know how you're going at all times as well. We've got another reading, and this one's from Pauline, so this one's for you, Yvonne. 15th of the 6th, 78. Hi there. Would like a reading for the month ahead and anything else that may pop up. Thank you and lots of blessings.
Excellent, thank
Blessings to you too.
Oh dearie, it looks horrible. Look at that triumph, balance.
Horribly beautiful.
Yeah. Well, it's actually about time, because you've been stuck in that prison, and it feels like, it feels like the last 18 months. It feels like almost a suffocating energy. It's like so caught up in trying to be everything for everyone else and make everyone else happy and do this and do that. And it feels like you've been exhausting yourself for so long that you've lost a sense of self. It feels like something happened at the beginning of April for you, and with that one you started to get a bit of a wake-up call in the fact that you started pulling back on doing everything for everyone else and being everything for everyone else, and it's kind of like you've set them down so that they could stand on their own 2 feet, which is absolutely fabulous. Sometimes what happens is we go from one extreme of being everything and doing everything and exhausting ourselves for everybody else, and then we go to the other extreme and go, you know what, can't do anything, not doing anything. Don't think you're going to be stuck here, because when you go from one extreme to the other extreme, you always find the balance in the middle, and that's where it is that you're heading. So don't think you're a horrible person because you're not doing this and that. This is exactly what you need to do, because if you just stop doing a little bit for a couple of people, you would go back to this extreme even worse, and you know, because you've been there and you've done that. This is about stepping out of that, getting to this place so you can find the balance, and that's where it is that you are. What I'm actually getting, Triumph is coming up, so it actually feels like you made the decision in April about who you want to be and how you want things to be, because you were sick of how things were, and you realised that if you wanted things to change, you needed to change, and you've actually been starting to do that. So it feels like from May to June to July, you've been stepping into that. In July, it's kind of like you're really stepping into it. The beginning of July, something about the 7th of July, it feels like you actually made a decision about where you want things to be and what you want to bring in. What's actually happening this month is you're in a really fabulous manifesting space because you are focused. You've told the universe what it is that you wanted. You've stopped telling the universe what it is you don't want, and you're telling it what it is that you do want. And what's actually happening, it's actually falling into place. So it does feel like what it is that you're waiting for, that you've been wanting, it feels like within 3 weeks, and it's something about the just after the 24th of August, it feels like that door's opening and it's actually coming through. So there's actually really good news coming there. But don't sit back and wait for it. You've still got to keep giving to you. You've still got to keep looking after you. You've still got to keep putting yourself first and putting petrol in your tank. And I always talk about petrol in the tank because it's common sense. For example, if you're racing around doing everything for everyone else, you're using petrol out of your tank. So if you're thinking of your body as that, as a car, it's like all that petrol that you're using. When you give to yourself, you're putting petrol in your tank. When you give to yourself and you feel guilty, you're putting sugar in your petrol tank, and that just gums up the works. So it's common sense to make sure that you run around on a full tank of petrol all the time, because when you've got a full tank of petrol, how much can you give everybody else? When you're running around as you have been in the past on an empty tank of petrol, really what is it that you're giving everybody else? You're running around on fumes. So for you, it's really, really important to keep putting premium grade petrol in your tank, doing things that make you feel good about you, because that's going to give you the energy. And that, because you're putting petrol in your tank, you're saying to the universe, I am worthy, I am deserving, exclamation, 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 and the universe is going, yes you are, and here's proof. And this is where you're heading, and this is why, because you're stepping in that place and you're doing for yourself, but be consistent with it and keep doing it. So I hope that helps.
Good advice. I love those cards. They're
just gorgeous.
I love bright, positive cards. Just straight through, straight up. This is what you get. This is the way it is. And I think that's good. It's no airy fairy. This is just straight up. And you and I both read a little bit that way, don't we?
Yeah.
We've been doing it too long now to beat around the bush. But the beautiful thing is you follow it up with some gorgeous advice.
That's the best part of it, because here's where you want to be, but also too knowing how you got there. Understanding is the biggest part of healing as well.
It is, isn't it? And I mean, I don't know if you noticed, I'm wearing my yin yang tonight, which is a beautiful piece. But it's really about that, isn't it? We're going to have dark bits in life. We're going to have the light, and it's the balancing of that all the time. It's constant. So nothing's scary. You know, people will get scared of us readers, and there's nothing scary. It's the way it's delivered might be scary, or the way it's not backed up, which is the beautiful advice, might be scary. But ultimately, life has got ups and downs, darks and lights. And as long as we, like you said, keep with our fuel, keep in our light, and have those people around us when we're in those dark times to help us through.
Yes.
We're here for that. We can help you with that and shed some light on the story. But if you are in a really dark place, don't forget you have got your counsellors, you've got your doctors, you've got your friends. If you need that professional help when you're in that dark place, always go there too.
Yeah.
So we can help so much, and then there's other things you can do. But remember, that's what it's all about. Darks and lights in light, isn't it? And how we deal with it.
Yep, and there's
the
so much
lesson.
support around, but sometimes we just need to ask, whether it's from our angels and guides or our loved ones around us.
Yep, or
Just ask.
Or ask Yvonne.
Yeah,
ask Yvonne, George.
That's what we're here for.
So yeah, that's exactly what we're here for. And sometimes we can connect, Spirit, and we can connect where you can't. And you do get that advice straight away, especially from past loved ones as well. They can be very precise and clear a lot of the air. And it's only stuff they know, stuff you know, which is beautiful. We're actually going to call Laurie. Laurie's actually been online on the phones and she's free now. We're going to give her a quick little call and have a chat so you can get to know Laurie as well. She's one of our other readers. Laurie's also someone that's worked with me for a long time, so we get to know them. So we're just getting her on the phone now, and we can have a bit of a chat and get to know her. Hello, Miss Laurie.
Hello, Miss Annie.
How are you, darling?
I'm very well, thank you.
Oh, beautiful. So I'm so glad you got to join us on the phones. Our viewers,
thank you.
This is
and
Laurie.
Congratulations to you too for being the presenter of this program.
Oh, thank you.
Can be a wonderful help to everyone.
That's what we're here for. So, and you know that more than all of us, because that's what you do as well.
Yes.
So, Laurie, I'm so glad that you've been able to join us as well. And at the moment, you're one of our phone readers, and they can find you on celebritypsychics.com.au, and hopefully, we'll get you in the studio very soon.
Right.
Which would be really lovely. Now, I've worked with you for many, many years. You're a beautiful psychic medium, old Celtic roots. But what can you tell the viewers at home, just to get to know you a little bit better, Laurie, about how you work?
Right. I'm a psychic and a medium, which means as a medium, you can get survival evidence from your loved ones that have passed over. I also do the tarot cards, and I read those as the journey of the soul, so they can help give you a lot of greater insight into options and possibilities that you may not have considered. Can give you very good guidance about work, career, relationship, and home, and travel, and your finances. I'm also a numerologist, and once you give something a number, you give it a particular energy or vibration, and that can help people look at their life path, what their life path is, their talents and abilities and timing. I'm also a Reiki Master Healer and a meditation teacher and a spiritual teacher, and can also help people with, past lives as well.
You're another one of our beautiful, long-standing expert psychics, aren't you, Laurie?
Well, I've been around for a while.
You've been around for a while, and you've got that beautiful...
hacking away at the coal face.
No, and I do love the way you work as well, and, the numerology, the Reiki, the healing, it's all very similar to what, us girls do as well, and after that 25 and 30 years of experience, I love the way you read, Laurie, and you're really good with time frames as well, aren't you?
Often we do try and give it to people, and sometimes we can be, very accurate. Other times timing is, really depends on the client and how prepared they are to make the change. But yes, I have been working for over 20 years, and I've done a lot of work at the Mind, Body, Spirit festivals in Sydney, Brisbane and Melbourne, as well as country festivals in New South Wales. And we've got the Canberra Psychic Expo coming up on the 2nd, 3rd and 4th of September. So that would certainly interest our Canberra people and people who live around there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and you've got a very big following, Laurie, especially at your psychic fairs, haven't you?
Yes, we do. And yes, and they're very popular. Yeah.
Yes, so that's
a lot of people do come along. We just, I was at Wollongong recently, and we had a huge turn up, and we always do very well at the Mind, Body, Spirit festivals. They're the reading room is very popular.
It is, isn't it? And it's really hard to, you work with me at New Moon at Castle Hill, and you have done for many years, and you do the Mind, Body, Spirit festivals, and it's just really hard sometimes for people that might even be in remote areas to actually get a reading if they don't have the access. And that's what's beautiful about this show, isn't it?
Yes, that's where it's very good. I remember some years ago, I went out with some other readers to Dubbo, and they were so pleased to see us come into the town because they need a lot of help out there, in terms of they're a long way from everything, and we could come in and out of the town and they can talk to us and feel confident that, what their concerns were wasn't, was kept, with us when we left. And, I've worked at Bathurst and up the coast and down the south coast, and but it's really good that you're offering this service, particularly if people, can't have access to us, because it's only when we come to town or, sometimes have to travel a long way. So doing it online is going to be a terrific benefit to everyone.
It's fantastic, isn't it? So I'm so glad that you've come on board so you can also help all your lovely viewers that may be anywhere in Australia, and like I said, in those remote areas, or they just can't get to us.
Yes, and it's really good to be able, yes, that's right, offer that service. So it's wonderful what technology can help us with now.
It is, isn't it? I think it's great as well. So you might not have to travel all the time, and your viewers might be able to find Laurie on the phone. So don't forget to keep an eye out when Laurie logs in. And you can also schedule a day every now and then too, Laurie, so people can find you on the 1300 number at what scheduled times you're on as well.
Yes, certainly. Yes, I will be on the phone line. So if anyone wants to talk with me, they can. They will be able to have access.
Beautiful. Oh, thank you so much. So you're going to stay on the lines now, aren't you? Tonight,
yes, I'll be on the line for a couple of hours. Yes.
Beautiful. Thank you for calling in and letting us viewers know a little bit more about you and your beautiful range of expertise and help. And Laurie is a beautiful reader. I can vouch for her myself. She's a really lovely reader, and hope to see you here in the studio very soon, Laurie.
Okay. Thank you. I look forward to it.
Thank you for calling in.
Thank you very much.
Good night.
Okay. Bye.
Don't you love this technology?
Yes.
We're just here sitting in a studio in Sydney. She's off down the coast somewhere. You guys are all over Australia and on YouTube all over the world. And our readers are all over Australia, very well-known psychics, and we've also got well-known psychics in other parts of the world that are here on our platform. It's just amazing. So I remember in the 80s when all this started with computers, and they said it was all going to be great, this new technology, and sometimes it's been time-consuming instead of time-saving, but I am not begrudging it tonight. It's just a really lovely way to be able to help everybody, and like yourself, we do Skype readings all over the world, don't we, with our clients. So I'm really lucky that we have this little platform. It's good to have you here,
definitely.
Which is really lovely. And we're going to slip into another text reading. So remember tonight that you can get on the phones, 1300 755 468, if you wanted to have a reading with Laurie or whoever else is logged in tonight. If you don't have your credit card facilities, then you can use the 1902 number, 257821, or a reading tonight, 19700 700, which is an SMS text, okay? And we've got one now, and Miss Yvonne George can read this for us. 27th of the 11th, 78, and this is Katrina. What was my past life or lives? And will my film script be brought or made?
Okay, with past lives, we can easily have had over 1,000 different past lives. So when I'm working with past lives, generally what I'll do is I'll have a look and see which ones are actually pertinent to where it is that you are now. And one of the ones that's actually coming through, and it's the style of the first card that we've got here, and it does feel like there's old energy, and it feels like shepherd energy. It feels like there's farming. It's a really, really grounded energy for you, and it feels like being part of a community, and it feels like there's families, and probably about 6 different families that actually all live together, and it feels like there was a whole community that lived on this property, and it does feel like it's something about Norway. I'm actually getting some cold energy going through there, so snows and things like that, or ice, I should say, goes more with that one. It actually feels like a particular one, there was a sense of grounding and a sense of community, and it's where everybody was working together. It feels like where it is that you are at the moment, it feels like you're feeling a little bit like a fish out of water. You're not feeling like you fit in. you've got one of your totem animals is the wolf, and wolf's a really powerful totem to have, because wolf's a teacher, wolf's a mentor, wolf's a protector, wolf's a guide, wolf is wolf. And the lesson of wolf people is you've got your packs of wolves. So you've got your alpha male, your alpha female, your betas, your charlies. Every single wolf in the pack knows where it is it belongs. And then you've got the lone wolf, and the lone wolf, in life we kind of think, oh, did they actually mix up our little bracelet in the hospital? Are we with the right family? Are we from outer space, or are they? We just don't quite feel like we fit in. As we're going through school, we've got friends, but we don't have that close friend. As we get older, we get close friends, but we feel like we're part of a triangle, or we're part of a square. When we're working, we get on with people, but we just don't feel like we're part of the clique. And it feels like this is your lesson. Like in that particular life, you were part of the community, you knew where you fitted, so you were part of the pack. But in this life, you've chosen to be the lone wolf. Now, with the lone wolf, we spend all our life trying to fit in with everyone else and trying to fit in with who it is that they are. This is your lesson now, and it feels like the last 13 months for you is especially about stop it. It's not about fitting in with anyone else. You're a wolf. Wolf is a really powerful totem. It's not about how you fit in with everyone else. You're a wolf. How do they fit in with you? And that's not ego or arrogance that does that. That's about you being a wolf and owning your power and realizing that you are more than enough just as you are. So with that script that you've put in, the script is waiting. It's like there's more things that need to be done to it, but it feels like you need to step back from it to put that in. You haven't met the person that you need to meet that's actually going to help you to move it forward and bring it in. So it feels like with that one, there's an opportunity coming up. It feels like the 19th of January that's actually going to open that up for you. But it's like you need to work with that. You need to own your power. You need to own who you are, and don't kind of go, oh, I've got this script. It's like, no, I've got this script. Do you want to have a look? I don't know if I want you to look. Yeah, okay, I'll let you look. You be discerning about who you give it to. You be discerning about who it is that you are, and it's about you stepping in your power. Wolf medicine is really, really, really powerful. Own it. And again, it's not about ego. It's not about being better or competing with anyone else. It's about you being comfortable with who it is that you are, because you've got so much potential that you haven't even tapped into yet. And the more you do, every step that you take in that, oh my gosh, you're not going to know yourself.
Very powerful, isn't it?
Extremely. Yeah, so hopefully that helps.
Well, I hope that gave you a lot of power. I was just I was like, okay, I want to be this wolf. But you also do a lot of animal healing as well, like I do,
Yes.
and we connect with the animal spirits, and they tell you a lot of things as well, and we know, how to help them. And
I don't do normal astrology, but I do totem animal astrology.
Mm-hmm. What's totem animal astrology?
It's Native American Indian astrology. So we look at the medicine wheel, and you've got 4 directions of north, south, east and west. Each direction has a colour, each direction has a season, each direction has a clan animal, each direction has 3 star signs attached to it. And they say for a full balanced life, we've got to go around the medicine wheel 4 times. So there's lessons in every single one. And with those lessons, they help us to grow. They say for that full life, we need to go around the medicine wheel 4 times.
4 times?
4 times for that full balanced life. But sometimes what happens is we get stuck in the different directions.
And we're talking about that with numerology and astrology, and we've just been through Saturn and different things, and it's just like, whoa, and Saturn return happened again, didn't it?
Yes.
And that was time to kick each other's backsides and go, boom, if we haven't done it now. That's the way it goes. So thank you for explaining that, because
That's
everything's
okay.
so different, and I don't understand a lot of what you do, because you do different things than me, and I just love to learn and grow all the time, because we all work differently, and it's just a pleasure to have you here to let other people know as well. So wherever you're looking from us, I don't know if we've lost our Facebook viewing, haven't we?
Yes.
So if we have lost that, it'll come back online soon. So that's our in-studio viewing. So if you were watching on Facebook, jump over to celebritypsychics.com.au and keep following us there, and you can see what cards we're doing as well. So remember, if you want your text readings tonight, don't forget 19700 700 SMS, name, date of birth, question, most importantly. And if you want Yvonne, take advantage of her while she is here. That doesn't sound good, but that's what we're here for. It's make the most of it as we go along. And you do psychic fairs in different places. Where else can people find you?
I generally do the Mind Body Spirit festivals as well, so I'm normally in the reading rooms. I'm having a little bit of a break from festivals at the moment. I think the next one I'll be doing is the Festival of Dreams, which we've got in September.
Where's the Festival of Dreams?
That one will be at the Hordern Pavilion,
which is Sydney.
In Sydney, yeah. So, which is Fox Studios, which is a beautiful venue. And then we've got the Mind Body Spirit Festival in Sydney. I'm not sure if I'm going to do Melbourne. I missed the last Melbourne, but I'll see about the next Melbourne one as well.
Oh, beautiful. I'll be seeing you on the rope soon as well.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
you're right there too.
I'll be hitting it once my cards come out and everything as well, and then I'll be really
Excellent.
prepared for you all to meet you all at different places. So,
excellent.
Yeah, so we're not far off now for that. That's been another project, as you know. There's
Yeah.
all these projects around, and it's all here to help you guys and give you different opportunities to find their way around, and how they can find us, how we can help.
Yeah.
What's the use of having our knowledge if we can't impart it, if we can't help, if we can't
can't
share
share
it? And that's what it's all about as well, isn't it? You do a little bit of healing as well with people, and
Lots.
yeah, are you a Reiki master or?
Yeah, I'm a Reiki master teacher and Isis Seishin master teacher. I'm a trainer of NLP and hypnosis. NLP is neuro-linguistic programming. Again, consciously what's going on is 10%, and consciously we might go, I am worthy, I am deserving, and conscious mind goes, yeah, it is. But 90% is your unconscious mind, and if you're not getting what you want, it's because unconsciously your unconscious mind doesn't believe it, and it's 90%. So what NLP does, and the way that I work with it, is to get your conscious mind and your unconscious mind into alignment, so that when you consciously say, I am worthy and deserving, your unconscious mind's going, yep, we are. So that's the work that I do with NLP. I work with hypnosis, crystal healing, bushflower healing, angelic healing, spiritual healing, lots of past life therapies, law of attraction stuff. It's EFT, which is tapping. Lots of fabulous stuff.
There is lots out there, and you've got a really big repertoire going on, and we just pick them up, and it calls to us, doesn't it? It's not something that you just wake up and go, I'm going to go learn this today. It just evolves, it just happens, it grows, and it's a part of who you are. And it's just another extension of who you are. But some of you out there, your viewers, might understand a little bit of some of the modalities, but there's so much more, and that's why I was asking you, because for those that don't know, and I'm always learning too, there's stuff that I don't know about at all. We don't all have time to learn everything or do everything. We've all got a different gift, and that's the beauty of this show as well, is that we can actually utilise all the different gifts that might resonate with you and where it needs to be at this time.
It's that law of requisite variety. The more ways that you've got to do something, the more ways that you can help the people you're working with to be effective.
I find that, and people used to say to me, you work in so many different modalities. I do the cards, I do the crystals, I do your chakras, I do your auras, I do quite a few different things, even more than that. And they're like, how does that work? And I said, well, I'm also an artist, and most people can understand as an artist, if you work in different mediums, it's the same thing. You'll see a picture and you go, that would look lovely in a watercolour, or an oil painting, or a pastel might work better for that, with that area of expertise. And it's the same as how we work, So we might go, I'll pick up the crystals for you, or the bushflower essence is resonating with you. And it's because we're working with energy. Solely energy, isn't it? And you just get guided, and when you've been working as long as Yvonne, you understand that guidance is real, and you follow that, and that's the gut instinct, and that's what we teach as well. We have to practice what we teach all the time.
Exactly.
Are you ready for another reading?
Let's go.
We've got another text reading. Thank you everybody that's using us tonight. That's what we're here for, is to help you, and it is only a quick text reading, and we'll get as much in as we can for you, and you can always follow us up on the phones and see when we're logged in, okay? And this is for Sarah, 4th of the 3rd, 92. Love reading, please.
Okay, let's have a little look. Okay, we've got the waiting game. It's almost like there is a card in this deck called Patience, which should be a swear word. And the waiting game, it's kind of like, it does feel like it's been a bit of a famine for you in the past, but it's also too, it feels like it's actually been quite a healing time for you. And that healing time is, I'm getting that song, going to wash that man right out of my hair. It's like you need to let the people of the past wash them out of your hair and let them go. You've spent a lot of time in life looking at yourself through their perspective and past relationships perspective, and seeing yourself as not good enough and seeing yourself as not enough. But what we do that. We look at ourselves through other people's eyes, but what we're not doing is we're not standing in their shoes and seeing why they feel like that, what's wrong with them, what's their life journey, what brought them to that point. Because if somebody has a problem with you, they had a problem before you walked into the room. It's not your problem, but you've been spending a lot of time seeing yourself as not good enough because you've been drawing to you people that haven't actually been good enough for you. They won't tell you that, because it does feel like there's one especially there that they're a legend in their own mind. But being a legend in real life, no. But with that, it's about you working out who you want to be and what it is that you want in life. You don't have to settle for anything less. You deserve nothing less than someone that wants to do everything to be your everything, but not in a stalky, suffocating way, but because that's who you are. When you're in a relationship, you give everything. You're wonderful, you're loving, you're genuine, you're kind, you're trusting, you care about their day, you want them to have the best of everything. You deserve nothing less than someone that is an absolute equal that can give that back to you. It's kind of like hanging around the beginner's pool with people that don't know how to swim, and you've been swimming for years and you've got it all organised, and you've been hanging around the wrong place, and the people that can't swim aren't going to validate you. They're not going to make you feel good about yourself. So what I'm actually getting, there's something happening on the 21st of August, and it feels like it's almost like a light bulb moment, because you're going into a place. We've got the sacral chakra card come out, and the sacral chakra card is about relationships, and that your sacral chakra is your relationship chakra, but it's not just your relationship with everyone else. The most important relationship that we need to have is with yourself. And that relationship of loving and appreciating yourself and being your own best friend and liking who it is that you are. It feels like this is the journey that has been the most difficult for you, and with that journey it's just been taking longer and longer and longer. But I'm actually getting the 21st of August is the time when you're actually going to have that aha moment, and I do get the sense with that you're not going to settle, you're not going to compromise, you're not going to go, no, this person will do. It's like you're going to make the decision about what it is you want in life, and you're going to take life in your power, in your hands, and it's like the bull by the horns, and you're going to decide where it is that you're going. You're going to practice in that space, but it does feel like that 2 months after that, you're actually going to draw to you what it is that you've been waiting for. And it's not somebody that's kind of wishy-washy and I don't know where I want to be. This is somebody that is actually knows who it is that they are and knows that they want you in their life as well. So it feels like be in that space to appreciate you. Start doing everything that you can to be your own best friend, because that's where it all starts. Any relationship you draw to you, the person is like, if you don't feel good about yourself, you're going to draw to you somebody that's going to make you feel not good about yourself. So if you don't want a relationship like that, start feeling good about yourself. When you feel good about yourself, you're going to draw to you someone that's going to help you to feel good about yourself. We tend to look for love outside ourselves, but it all starts within. So they're saying, work on you, and again, that aha moment is on the way. But in the meantime, no settling, no compromising. If they're not good enough from the very beginning, you don't need to be there, because you deserve more, but you need to remind yourself of that. So I hope that helps.
Good advice. We're going to wash that man right out of my hair. Beautiful. Yes. South Pacific?
I think
it is, yeah. I think it was.
But wasn't it a shampoo ad too, I think, at one stage?
Yeah, it was one of those beautiful old ones. I think it was South Pacific. Wash that man right out of my hair. We can all sing that one, which is beautiful. So I hope that love reading helped as well. I'm going to get Yvonne to do one for me, I think.
Oh, not a problem.
Thank you everyone for joining us and viewing from wherever you are, and I hope watching other people's readings and being read out is also helping you somewhere, and especially with the beautiful advice that Yvonne's been giving as well. We can all take a little piece of that, can't we?
Thank you.
And we have to take our own advice sometimes, so we listen and what comes through, I'm like, really? I learned so much from Spirit. And when I'm doing a reading, a technical thing, I didn't even know they could do that. You know, I'm like, really?
What's that?
Yeah, I learned so much. So we've got another reading if you're ready for another one, because it actually is a bit of a past life one as well. Okay, this is from Zach. I'll let you do it because this is your area of expertise.
Okay, yeah,
and it's 1st of the 1st 92. Can I have a past life reading and a career this year?
Okay, let's have a little look. Okay, self-sabotage is coming up. Let's have a little look and see what life that relates to. Okay, self-sabotage. There's a few. You are working very hard with very hard against a. It's not a fear of failing, but you've got a fear of succeeding, and it does feel like that you've been sabotaging yourself because you've got past life fears and persecution issues that are coming up. That when you have been successful, it's kind of like you've had your knees taken out from underneath you. I'm actually getting the picture of there's a war scene in it. It's almost like Roman soldiers, and it's kind of like you almost got too big for your britches. It's like you were such a good soldier, you were so good at what it is that you could do, that you just went up through the ranks, and you had all the people that you grew up with that joined you with it, but it feels like that you left them behind. So it feels like what's actually happened in that past life is they've did the stabbing in the back, took your knees out from underneath you, and with that one it brings to you now a fear of stepping forward, a fear of succeeding. To counteract that, and this goes for your career as well, your career's not going to go too far if you've got a fear of succeeding. So this is something that you really need to work on. Now, the best way to do it is imagination. Now, as Einstein said, logic will get you from A to B, and logic is your reality, but imagination will take you everywhere. And with the working with the law of attraction and the shaman principles, third principle is energy flows where attention goes. So the universe doesn't care if what you're focusing on is your reality or your imagination, because what you're giving energy to, you're helping to bring into life. So with that, what they're saying to step out of your fears and step out of that fear of succeeding is to allow yourself to see yourself as being successful. So if you see yourself as 10 steps ahead and going, yeah, this is where I want to go, that's actually not good enough, because you're going to struggle to get to that 10 steps. You want to see yourself uber successful, so like Robbie Williams style, that you can't walk anywhere without paparazzi chasing you around and everybody knowing your name, and you can go into any restaurant and like you're a household name. You need to see yourself, because here's your barrier here, you'll struggle to get there. But if you're comfortable with that being uber successful, you break through those barriers, and that fear of succeeding is disappearing, because you're comfortable with the idea of succeeding and being overly successful beyond your dreams. Don't just go little, go big. What's that saying? Go big or go home. Because that's actually going to help you to step into where it is that you want to be. Because you have so much potential. You're really good at what you do. You've got great attention to detail. You dot every I, you cross every T, but it's kind of like they show me that The Simpsons, what's his name, Gil from The Simpsons, it's like no matter what he does, it's like Gil never gets anywhere. It's kind of like you work so hard and you earned it and you deserve it, and you can't work out why you can't get there. You need to, again, allow yourself to see yourself super successful, be comfortable with the idea of that, because that will break through those barriers and it'll allow you to be more successful in your career. There's more opportunities coming up, and it feels like about March next year, and they're showing me the Mongol Waratah. It's you're being supported, you're being looked after, but you've energetically got to let yourself get to that particular point of being comfortable with the idea of being successful. Don't worry about how to get there. That's the universe's job. Don't worry about timing or when, because that's the universe's job. Your job is just to tell the universe what it is that you want. And when you tell the universe what it is that you want, the universe will start bringing that to you. When we're manifesting like that, though, we've got to make sure we don't tell the universe what we don't want, because it's like walking into the Universal restaurant. You sit down and tell the waiter, I'd like this and this and this and this, and the waiter goes, yep, not a problem, do you want fries with that? But if you go, oh, well, I don't want this and I don't want that, I don't want this, I don't want that, the waiter will go, oh, do you want fries with that? Because you're giving energy to what you don't want. So focus on where you want to be. Focus on what you want it to look like, not how, not what you think is available. Go big. Go big in your imagination. You can go anywhere. Second shaman principle is there are no limits, and in your imagination, don't limit yourself. Go there.
And it's very true, isn't it? People fear success.
Yeah.
They don't fear failure as much as people think. It's actually the fear of success. And when they get to that bridge where they have to go over to that next level, that's the cold feet syndrome. That's when they're fearing success.
Yeah.
And it's not a success. It's still just another climb, and we're on that continual climb, isn't it?
It is.
And that's, people think if the success that you're talking about with career or to dream big, they fear that if they get there, then what, that's all going to be scary, or it's still just the pinnacle, isn't it? It's still just the beginning always.
It is.
It's still always just the journey, and that might alleviate some of the success feeling that you're fearing, isn't it?
Yeah, and sometimes we look at that future and we think that we need to have everything that we think there, right here, right now, But we forget every step that we take, we're drawing to us all the tools and resources and everything that we need. So by the time we get there, we'll have everything we need.
And then you want more, and then it keeps going. So that's why you have to go back and just enjoy what you're doing. Head there, manifest big, and keep following it and see where it goes and keep open.
Yeah, and feel good
Keep
about
open.
it. When you feel good, you're opening up and you're bringing it to you. You feel bad, you're blocking it.
Yeah. But it's just so hard. So I'm glad you're here to explain that to him. So I hope that made sense to you. I hope it does help, because everyone will explain it a little bit differently, but it means the same stuff. And for his career, I think that's really important, not to fear it and just keep going and bring the tools that you've got with you. You know, you can't be better than what you are yesterday unless you believe in it and then bring it with you, and then you will be better tomorrow, and every day you'll be better than what you were yesterday, and you can only be that. You can't be anything different until you just keep working, and that's living in the now as well. We've got a few more texts and a few more time to go, so we've only got about 15 more minutes left. So if there's any last minute texts that you really want to get in, don't forget that we're here. 15 more minutes, a few more readings we could probably get in for you, as well as the people on the phones. And the people that are on the phone, our lovely psychics that are on now, may still stay on a little bit longer, okay? And don't forget, even after our show, after this beautiful hour and a half, we still do have psychics 24/7 that you can get your readings with on our 1300 number, okay? And don't forget that you can also book or talk to one of our consultants, all right? This one's for Rachel, and I'll do this for you and give you a little bit of a break. And this is for Rachel, and I'll read it out for you viewers at home. 15th of the 4th, 76. Have I made the right choices? Are there any other messages and what I need to know for the next few months? Many thanks. Hello, Rachel. And I am going to use the cards for you, because even though I'm getting, have you made the right choices? We're talking about choices tonight. But with you, you think you have, but you're not sure yet. In other words, the direction you're going in at the moment, you haven't had enough confirmation and enough clarity that you've made the right decisions, and that's in a few different situations. And as you notice, a card flew out at me, okay? So I use those ones when they come out, and that is the one, and that is your direction that I said that you've just passed, okay, and what you've said that you've just made your choices in, and you are going down that path already. So that's just affirming everything that we've just said. Now, Spirit wants you to know that the choices that you've made, you've given yourself a headache over, all right? You can't change what you've chosen, but what you can change is what you want to keep choosing, all right? So that's your gift tonight, is to remember that, okay? It's just plan A, plan B, and when that doesn't work, it's plan C, and plan C is make a new plan, okay? So it's all good. It doesn't mean you're failing. It means you've taken the challenge. You're really brave, and I love everything that you've been doing with your life so far, your career, your finance, and your love life and your home life, okay? So you are making the right decisions. With your travel, and you do travel a little bit, I don't know whether it's through work or through holidays or a little bit of both, okay? There's a bit of a crossover there. You use it as breathing time too, and I think that's really important. So if you have got a holiday or a bit of travel coming up soon in August, September, just use it as breathing time, not to make decision time, okay? So with the death card there, that's really saying put an end to those feelings of inadequacy in regards to the choices that you've made. So yes, you've made the right choices because they felt right at the time, okay? That's all you really need to know. If they're not feeling right now or they're not working, analyze it, sit back and look at it, ask for advice like you are doing tonight. But what I'm getting is a great aunt on your other side. Now she's on your mum's side, and it's your mum's auntie, and she went through a lot of, she's stressy, nervousy person, so whether you're bringing that through, and that's with you as well, and she doesn't want you to waste her time and waste your time rather, and on stress when you could be doing something about it, okay? So get rid of the stress that you might have been brought with, and that's how you've been brought up to think this way, okay? So relax. Stop talking in your head over and over and over, okay? So I'm going to pull 3 cards for you, because these next 3 cards are what I call your action cards and what you need to work on to get through that, okay? So Spirit's saying that's what you need to do, okay? So love the direction you want to go in, love the choices that you want to make, love your career, love what you're about with who you are, love the person you're with. All right, and love the people around you, especially your friends. You're getting so busy in your head, you're forgetting to call them, you're forgetting to look after them, you're forgetting to be there for them as well. So this is called stepping out of, I know you're not a selfish person, you do look after others, but this is sometimes it's there to give you a deviation at the moment. So spend time with your friends and your family and stuff. and the rest will follow as well. With your work and your career, stay where you're at, because I just had to follow your career up there for some reason. Stay where you're at for now. You don't have to make any big changes. You've got a lot of growth yet to come. It's still the next 2 to 3 years before you have to worry about any major changes there, okay? Focus on your family and your friends, and there is a celebration coming up as well. It's not just because we've got the 10 of Cups, but I have felt that anyway. With this celebration, there's an engagement, a wedding, and a birth. So we've got all 3 coming up. So enjoy those moments and stop worrying so much. Okay, I hope that helps. I know it's going to make sense to you. It's really easy for us to say stop worrying, but the idea of having a reading is to show that insight, isn't it, down the track, which might alleviate some of that stress. And you were talking earlier about changing the way we have focused ourselves and programmed ourselves, and we can always change that, okay? So when we say stop worrying, it's actually something to analyse and go, well, what is it that we're worrying about? Ask yourself the worst case scenario. And if you find yourself worrying too much that you can't sleep at night, obviously get some help, but through your doctor or some meditation techniques that can help you reprogram the way you think. And that was what the great aunt was coming through with. It's like, well, hang on, this is how we were, this is the way the family is. So sometimes you are brought up with that programming through your parenting, through your lifestyle and everything as well. So resilience is really important. So it's just another way of trying to find a different angle, and there's people like you that can help with that as well.
Well, there's bushflower essences for that.
Exactly.
Especially.
Finding different ways just to find that, okay? So we might have time for a couple more readings while we've still got a little bit of time while I clear off my cards. You'll notice while I'm chatting away, I'm still shuffling. It's just called clearing the energy from what I've just read. So that's taking off the energy. So when I'm sitting here doing this after my reading and I'm still chatting, it's just clearing the energy. You're clearing, ready to start, and I'm clearing, ready to go. It's the way that our psychics work, isn't it? It's so hard. We've just had Raoul's just got off a call, so he's free now to call. So 1300 755 468. CelebrityPsychics.com.au. If you have a look at our readers, that'll give you Raoul's PIN number, and you can go direct to him. Hello, Raoul. If you are watching tonight, I hope you're having a beautiful time there on the phones, helping all our lovely viewers. Raoul is Victoria. He's in Victoria, and he's beautiful energy with the angels and Archangel Michael, and he gives a really beautiful reading with love and kindness, grace, and really good advice as well. And Raoul said he also gets a lot of people that keep coming back for extra advice as he goes along. And we all get that, don't we?
Oh, I guess.
Just that extra advice, okay? Ready for another reading?
Let's go.
This is for Peter, 16th of the 10th, 72. Good evening, lady. Good evening, Peter. I have just wound up the last drama of my old life and have freed myself from a lot of old anchors. Can one of you please give me a reading on life in the near future, please, particularly in the area of relationships?
Okay. It's interesting. K-pop bush is the essence. We call it the essence when you've had the stuffing knocked out of you and you've had one of those lives. K-pop bush, it's the seed, it's almost like a cottony type thing. And the settlers used to stuff mattresses and pillows with it. So it's interesting that that's come out first. You're definitely out of that. They've got the wisteria, and the wisteria, it's like there's so much more freedom. It feels like even joint-wise, it's you can actually move in your knees and it's your elbows. It feels like you haven't just freed yourself environmentally, you've freed yourself emotionally as well, and your body's focusing suit. So with that, it does feel like there's going to be more flowing, more energy flowing. You're going to have more energy, more vitality. Just be aware there is still resentment. So it's like you freed yourself of it, but it's also too, you do need to forgive. Now, forgiving can be like really, really the worst. Yeah, we feel like it's the worst thing. Forgiving, though, isn't about condoning what happened or what they did. Forgiving is about freeing yourself up from the hurt and the disappointment and the anger and the frustration that you've been holding on to because of what happened. So when you're doing forgiveness, it's not about them and making them feel good, it's actually about you choosing to feel good. So you've done this huge big releasing, but it's also too, you need to do the forgiveness and you need to do cleansing and work with your liver, and I'd possibly recommend like doing a juice detox or something just to support the liver, drinking plenty of water, flushing things through, because there's a lot of old toxic stuff that was sitting there. With the bushflower essences, Dagger Hakea is absolutely fabulous. It's in the combination essence you can get, relationship essence, and it's also in the purifying essence, which used to be called the detox, and it's really good to help do that, physical and energetic and emotional clearing, because it's kind of like you want relationships, the relationship that you've been waiting for to come in, but it's like you need to let go of the relationships of the past. So I'd actually recommend doing a dose of the relationship essence. Again, you can get these bottles at your local health food stores. With relationships, it does feel like there's one that's been waiting to come through, and it feels like it's been sitting there probably for about the last 8.5 months, but they're showing me ice skating, and it's like they're on one rink and you're on the other, and you've been so focusing on pulling yourself up and falling over and pulling up and falling over, but they've been skating around, and it's like they're waiting for you. You're not quite ready for them yet. You've got more work to do within yourself, and it's kind of like, if you can imagine that all the weight and everything that you've been carrying is like 200 really heavy wet coats, and you've been carrying them. Now you've shed them, and it's like you were shedding them not one by one, but group by group. Now you've got to get used to this new weight that you are, and this sense of being free. No one else is going to fill the void. You need to fill that void within you. You're going to find your feet. You're going to be able to find your balance, and you're going to be able to skate. And as you're skating, you're actually going to come into alignment with this person. So it does feel like there's another 2 months of waiting to, it's not really waiting, another 2 months of acclimatizing to this new energy that you're at, and also to getting comfortable with this person that you are now. I definitely recommend the relationship essence, and again, they're with the Australian Bush Flower Essences. That's their logo there. Crystals that can work with you at the moment too, definitely. Definitely rose quartz, which is about that love. We want to support the liver with that. Clear quartz, and also to smoky quartz and citrine, just the basic ones there to help shift. But definitely drinking plenty of water, because you want to support your liver as much as you can, so flushing stuff through. What we tend to find though when we're drinking water all the time, you have to go to the bathroom every 2 minutes. It's annoying.
That's what it's supposed to be doing.
Yeah, but what you can do is you can get like a litre of water and put an inch worth of apple juice, and that apple juice gets in the water, gets in the body, does all the things it needs to do, and then it flushes through. Because we can drink 2-3 litres of water a day and dehydrate, because it's just going straight through. So yeah, just a touch of apple juice, touch of apple juice. But I definitely recommend the relationship essence.
Yeah, and I like the way you brought in the essences, because people don't understand how they work, and it's just putting the positive energy into the system as well, which is really important. And the symbology of doing that is really important as well. And you mentioned smoky quartz and the citrine. You put those two together, you're definitely not going to care what other people think anymore, are you? You're like, no, I'm not going to think anymore. It's just like, I am me. It's going to help me stand in my ground and not care what others think. And it really felt like that last reading for Peter. He did used to care too much, and not put himself first. And I think that's where you were getting at, wasn't it? It's time for that now, which is beautiful as well. Now we've only got a few more minutes, I think, coming on our show. It's just gone really, really fast this evening as well, and I think we do have 1 or 2 more texts coming out. So thank you everybody that's joined us, because I love having the different readers on our show every night. It's just really lovely just to have someone like yourself on here, and I've learnt so much tonight, and I'm sure our viewers have as well, about how you work. And like I said, I've worked with Yvonne over the years with different platforms, but never together side by side. She goes up to Cynthia, I think we know each other, how we work, but
and we're busy.
This is so much better and beautiful, and getting to know, and we've even been bouncing off each other, which happens all the time. This when you get together with other readers, this is backwards and forwards. She says this, I say that, and it's the way it goes. We haven't done many joint readings tonight, but I've let you have your beautiful space with your grace with your readers as well, and just helping them out as well. We've got one more reading here. Would you like to do that? You ready for another one? And this is for Leslie. Hello, Leslie. 9th of the 12th, 1960. Will my and my husband's financial security be okay over the next few years throughout the retirement years?
Okay, thanks for that, Leslie. First shaman principle is the world is what you think it is. So if you think it's going to be a problem, guess what? If you think it's not going to be a problem and you think you're going to be fine, guess what? Because the world is what you think it is. You're putting a lot of fear and you're putting a lot of worry. What you need to remember though is throughout your whole life, and your husband's life as well, and he's very versatile. If you've ever needed something, you've both been able to find a way. So you've both had, and your husband is also too, it's like if he needs money, he'll find a way to bring money in. He's resourceful. He's always been able to do that. You haven't been able to trust your ability to do it as much, but you need to trust in his ability to do it. He's not going to splash money out here, there and this and that and be frivolous and things like that. If he needs it, he'll find it. So you don't have to worry about that. You are being looked after. But when you're worrying about something, you're giving energy to the problem, and the problem gets bigger and bigger and bigger. You draw to you what you fear. So if you're worried that you're not going to have money, you're going to get to a point where you're going to actually put so much energy into it that's going to be your reality. I don't get that that needs to be any part of your reality, but you're fearing what could happen here, but what's happening here hasn't happened. What needs to happen, or the experiences you need haven't happened yet. Be right here, right now, because right here, right now, in this very moment, breathe in, breathe that breath up to the top of the head, breathe it down through the body, breathe it out through the feet, because right here, right now, you're okay. Now, every moment that passes, you're taking a step towards that future. Now, another moment, another step, and as you're breathing in and breathing through, right here, right now, you're okay. Another moment, another step. And as you breathe in, breathe through, right here, right now, you're okay. And the future's just a series of steps from right here, right now. But right here, right now, you're okay. When you're focusing energy on that, future's going to be fine. Future has always worked it out. You have the tools that you need, and your husband especially has the resources that he needs. If he needs it, he'll find it, but he doesn't need it, so he doesn't have to look for it. But what you need to remember is right here, right now, I'm okay. And say that to yourself and breathe it in, breathe it through. Don't worry about the future. Deal with what's right here, right now. Because right here, right now, again, you're okay. So will you be fine? Yeah. Do you want to stress and struggle on the way through? You can, but do you really want to? Because you don't have to. You have a choice, remember. But remembering, breathing in, breathing through, right here, right now, you're okay. And that'll help you to step out of the worry. Got little flannel flower there, and little flannel flower's about playing, having fun. Enjoy now, because now's pretty good. Hope that helps.
And right now they can be working on the money, so it will be there
Yeah.
as well, instead of worrying about it. Like the last reading that I did, she was worrying so much now that she could be focusing on what she used to be doing.
Yeah.
And sometimes that happens, doesn't it? We do get caught up in that worry thing again, and that amount of time that you spend worrying, you could have been doing something.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
people forget that, and it's hard, and we're all human, and we all find different ways of coping, and one of them was to have a reading with you, and you've given her
Hope that
some
helped.
beautiful advice, okay?
Mm.
We've got Laurie on a call still at the moment, and we've got Rahul available, so you can get in touch with Rahul if you need a reading on the phones, which will give you a little bit more time. He'll be logged in for the next hour or two probably, and if so, so our other readers will still be logged on as well, okay? So 24/7, we're always here to help you. We've had a beautiful, beautiful show tonight. I love saying that word beautiful because it has been beautiful, and I don't care saying it when it has been, okay? Staying positive is always positive, and I think we've done some beautiful positive work. So thank you so much, Yvonne George. You have been lovely. Thank you, our lovely producers and everybody making this possible to help you guys. So make sure you follow Celebrity Psychics, everything.